The 1111 portal is officially open, and I'm so excited because, this portal shifts things up, to say the least. It literally rips out anything within your life that's not in alignment, tosses it out the door, and then places you exactly where you need to be for the highest amount of spiritual growth, ascension, and awakening. That's the little summary of this portal. So it opened today, as today is November 1st. This portal is open till November 11th with its peak on November 11th. The interesting thing about the portal this year is this 1111 portal is simultaneously a 4/4 portal. So we have two portals in one. So that's wild, because if we think back to the 4/4/4 portal, that portal was all about ascension. Like the number 4 represents ascension as well, within an Archangel Michael channel book. And so it's the 4/4 portal, of course, because 1111/2020 is 4/4. And so with two of these portals at play at once, and the actual 4/4 is on 1111, but just you can feel the energy building up to it already. This is literally a double ascension portal, which means ascension codes are going to be amplified. So the codes that are going to come from the sun are going to help deeply awaken and enlighten you to the next level, of being. The main thing I want to talk about this portal is, what it does. Because even when you're not conscious of portals, this portal deeply affects you. And I know that I'm a living example of that, because before I even knew about portals, before I was really deep into all the spiritual stuff, I had the most life-altering experience on the 1111 portal. Obviously, after I was like, whoa, that happened on a portal. And so that experience that I had actually allowed me to understand this portal and how powerful and profound it is. Because what happened for me 1111 portals ago, when I was completely unconscious of that it was a portal, was I essentially lost my sense of identity and my sense of self. I went through the most massive ego death ever, of really understanding that, I'm not my name. I'm something beyond that. And so this really led me to feel and believe that this portal, it kind of rips up all of our identifications. It rips out our ego. It makes our ego be completely gone, right? You're going to notice, if not already, for this energy actually began, mid-October, you might lose relationships, lose ways of being, patterns that you once existed in and really served you just might not serve anymore. Business ideas that once were incredible might not feel incredible to you anymore. You might be switching careers, moving homes, just losing a lot of things, or even emotions or feelings. You might just be releasing a lot of stuff at this time, and that's valid too. What the purpose of this is, what the purpose of all of these ego deaths really are, and more about ego deaths in the 1111 portal course, which you can find the link in my bio. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But what the purpose of us having so much loss and release, if you ask anyone, I feel like everybody is going through their own form of grief or loss, or heartbreak right now. And the purpose of this is actually to build up the momentum for us to go through a very, 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 very deep and profound next level of our spiritual awakening. When you have a portal that's created and symbolized by the numbers 1111, this is an ascension gateway. This is a oneness gateway. This is an awakening gateway. Even those who are, more on the unconscious level, they're aware of oh, you see 1111 on the clock, make a wish, right? There's a very large understanding that that number is very significant, and that number really works with manifestations and such. So it's just, this portal is kind of open to everybody, and it has the ability to awaken mass consciousness. You'll see that A lot of people globally through these 11 days are going to be waking up out of a slumber. We're going to notice a lot more information coming up, a lot more people waking up. Essentially, the collective ego of humanity is going to begin to perish, and then humanity is going to be like, and then they're going to be in this momentum of, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. Spiritual awakening happens, right? When we have that kind of like forced container of these things aren't working anymore, we no longer have this, it builds that momentum to break free of the ego and embody spirit. So you're going to notice that, you're going to go through a lot of kind of deep trials and tests and initiations through this portal, and everything that happens through this portal has a purpose. It has a purpose to realign you. The things that occurred for me, the past two 11/11 portals, really set the stage for my next year. My last year, for example, what happened for me during the 11/11 portal was, I relocated, I left my job, I went to go mend a family relationship. I left an entire old, I moved cities and such. I left an entire old way of being behind, including creating a lot of distance between myself and my partner at the time. And in that action that I was guided to take by the universe through that portal, opened up the opportunity for my entire business to unfold. The year previous to that one, what happened for me during the 11/11 portal of my ego death, propelled me into a very, very, very deep experience of spiritual awakening, right? And so you'll notice when you look back in like April, May, June, you're gonna be like, wow, like what happened for me during the 11/11 portal seriously like shifted and altered my course. Like, I'm so grateful it happened. In the moment though, you are likely to not feel very grateful. You might feel very resistant. Your ego is gonna be like, why? Like, why do I have to do this? Why is it playing out in this way, right? And the best way that you can deal with this is by reminding yourself with your conscious awareness that, you're in an 11/11 portal, you're in a oneness portal, you are literally living within a reality that has the opportunity to align you to the frequencies of oneness, that allows you whatever you're manifesting during this time, that is going to literally propel that manifestation. I was really focused on, my business during this time last year. 5 figures later and a year later, right? Whatever you're focusing on and whatever you're trying to manifest right now, the aligned actions that are occurring, the things that are going to occur and unfold throughout this portal are actually going to set you up for that. Might not seem very good at the start though. And we're actually going to see this globally too. There could be a lot of things that on surface level seem not fun, do not seem like what looks like what we were manifesting on a global scale, but those things need to happen, those things need to occur in order for, what we're manifesting globally of sovereignty and freedom to unravel. These are like, it's like this portal sets everything up, right? Because it's 1111, and from 1111 we're gonna go 1212. And then we're going to reset. We're going to go 111, 222, 333, 444, 555. We're going to go through the set of portals again. This one sets everything up. Sets everything up. It takes the aligned and required death in order to birth what's coming. And this portal is also really significant because I would almost say that this portal and the 1212 portal are not separate. Although there is no further 11/11 date past the 11th, and the 1212 portal doesn't open up until December 12th, these portals are intimately intertwined in the way that both of them have to do with oneness, both of them have to do with unity. Both of them have to do with deep spiritual awakening, and that's what you find when we go towards, the end of the year. When outside of us looks like winter and looks like inside, it's typically when we go inside and we have the most deepest levels of spiritual awakening. And from my studies with the ego, when the ego is the most threatened and when things are not happening for the ego, when the ego's not happy, that's typically when there's enough motivation and there's enough momentum for the spirit to actually come through. For example, my first experience of the 1111 portal, releasing all of my identifications with my name and the situation that actually brought that forth. Forgot where I was going with that. Okay, that situation that occurred for me, it built so much momentum for change, right? In spiritual awakening, because my ego no longer existed. My ego, 1111, my ego was gone. My ego was like, I don't have these things that I identified with for over a year. I have nothing anymore, right? I don't have these things anymore. What is there? Like, I don't know anything anymore. And it's moments like that when our ego is like so dying, and it can be the same when you get out of a relationship, and if the relationship defined your reality and your existence, your ego is going to be like, what's happening? I'm dying. Like, I don't know anything. These things always happen during this portal because that is what is needed for the highest level of spiritual growth. It is only when the ego is the most threatened and the ego really doesn't know anything and is almost in a surrendered state, for it is like, I don't know what's going on. Does that open up for the momentum for deep, deep, deep spiritual growth, revelations, and awakening? Whew. This portal is a big one, let me tell you. This portal is massive. So with this portal, and with all portals, of course, I do have the 1111 Ascension Portal course. And this course, it really sets you up to understand how to work with these energies, right? It's 5 modules. In the first module, we're going to be talking about things like, spiritual awakening, ascension, oneness. There's a really great one in there where you learn about the higher self and the oversoul, and learn how to actually connect to the oversoul to break free of planetary matrices, which is the key of all of this, is it not? After this, we go into the ego. We're going into the ego. We're going to learn about the ego resistance, ego death. We're going to work with the things that we're losing right now. We're going to figure out, who are we without these? We're going to rip the Band-Aid off, right? We're going to go deep into it. We're then going to be working with rainbow light codes, understanding what is the sun doing right now? Why is the sun sending rainbow codes? Why, when we take a photo with the sun, is there pink and red and all of these light codes? What are these? And how are they affecting us? Like, what do we actually need to know about these? Because they're not going to tell you what to do about that in the media, right? And then we go into my personal favorite module, which is all about the 4 pillars of ascension, which on 11/11 last year, right at 11:11 a.m., I meditated and I received a very direct download about the 4 pillars of ascension. And the 4 pillars of ascension are essentially, think about a table. The table, the lid of it, can't stay up without the 4 pillars supporting it. If one's broken, it's going to slant. If all 4 pillars are not equally supporting it, the table cannot really be in the air. It cannot ascend. And so I got a message about, that there's actually 4 pillars that are supporting our ascension, and that we must work with these 4 pillars and embody them in an equal way in order for our highest level and highest timeline of ascension. There's like 2 birds that flew when I said the word highest there. Very interesting. And then lastly, we're going to go into sovereignty. We're going to go into power. We're going to talk about, why the hell are you so afraid to step into your power? Why are you so afraid of allowing yourself to be seen as the powerful and sovereign being that you are? And that lesson, just very high frequency. But all of these lessons, because of my own frequency, they are encoded with activations to not only attune you to the portal, but to attune you to frequencies such as oneness. I actually filmed the oneness video in a Kuan Yin peace garden in Mount Shasta. And so that video is encoded very, very deeply with key codes and frequencies of Kuan Yin. And so yeah, there's really great stuff in there, and I'm really excited to really help you through this portal, because I wish there was somebody to help me through the portal the first time it happened for me. So if you're interested in that, the link is in my bio, and I'm so excited about it because I know how profound it is. Peace.